My name is Dr. Denise L. Jones, and I serve as the Vice President for Academic Affairs here at Trinity University. I'm pleased to welcome you to the Stumberg Venture Competition premiere video presentation. The Louis H. Stumberg Venture Competition is a two-part startup pitch event. It's hosted every spring and fall, where each cohort of students has an opportunity to compete for a chance to win mentorship and funding for their particular startup. For the last 5 years, the Trinity University Stumberg Venture Competition has made these awards to many hopeful student startups. And while the COVID-19 constraints have certainly affected so many people, Trinity has remained committed to our students. In fact, this pandemic has created the perfect opportunity for student startups. It's important for you to know that Trinity students consistently exhibit persistence, grit, adaptability, empathy, resourcefulness, opportunity identification, and excellent problem-solving abilities. Today is a testament of our continued commitment to these students who are models of the values we cherish: enduring excellence, intentional inclusion, and perpetual discovery. So I invite you to sit back, enjoy the experience of these presentations, and expect to be wowed at the brilliance of these young people.
Welcome to Trinity University's 2020 Stumberg Prize Finals. My name is Dr. Luis Martinez. I'm the Director for Innovation and Entrepreneurship at Trinity University. We're thrilled that you'll be joining us today to celebrate our sixth cohort, our sixth celebration of the awarding of our Stumberg Prize finalists. Trinity Entrepreneurship is part of a long history and strength of undergraduate experiential learning at Trinity. While students at Trinity engage in undergraduate research and in undergraduate scholarship, in entrepreneurship, what they do is they launch real companies. And what we're committed to is that, unlike other programs where their entrepreneurship program may be based in a college or school of business, entrepreneurship at Trinity is a university-wide initiative. We believe that all students can be engaged in entrepreneurship to start their own ventures, regardless of their major, and regardless of whether or not they'll be first years or seniors. And so the Stumberg Prize composes an important part of our educational program. We believe strongly that we want students to build something for the first time while they're students. And this program enables them to go ahead and launch real ventures while they're students. We're proud that over the last 9 years at Trinity Entrepreneurship, we've had almost 60 companies started by individuals who were students at Trinity while they were students. The 6 teams that you'll see today competing in our finals compose a grand total of 32 companies that have been launched specifically through our Stumberg Prize program. This 6th cohort represent over $300,000 of an investment that's been made in students to launch their real companies. And that $300,000 of investment has translated to over $5.5 million of external funding. But while we measure sort of the dollars that have been raised by these companies, what's more impactful is the educational experience that our students have had in the actual real practice of launching something for real, scaling it, and operating it while they're still students. We're proud that a number of our students have gone on to graduate in the businesses that they started as they were students. And so while today we'll be awarding $50,000 total to celebrate sort of our Stumberg Prize and as part of the award, this really constitutes only $50,000 of over $150,000 that are awarded directly to students to support their new venture creation. Whether it be form of this non-dilutive cash that they receive as part of the Stumberg Prize, or their support that they receive to be working with us full-time during the summer, Trinity is committed to Trinity undergraduate entrepreneurship. It's really remarkable this year in COVID-19, where we mark how many things have changed and many things are different. We would have loved to have celebrated this event with you live today, to have that energy and that sense of what's happening. But due to the COVID situation, Trinity University is still committed to having students commit to starting real ventures in the middle of these historic times. If our students can start businesses, nonprofits during this time when things are hard, imagine what will happen when we turn the corner, when things are better. Now, what you'll be witnessing today is part of a long road of a journey that these students have taken. Our Stumberg Prize actually started 9 months ago, where our students competed in the Trinity University Stumberg Seed Round, where students had the opportunity to pitch their ideas, submit materials, and then ultimately, before another panel of judges in April, 10 of those companies pitched for slots as finalists to Trinity University Stumberg Prize finalists. These 6 finalists this year then spent the entire summer with us in our Summer Accelerator program, where they worked to build their business for real, worked with coaching to prepare their pitches, and understand the ins and outs of preparing a business plan and operating their business. So this is a long journey that our students sort of culminate at the end of today's journey. This has been a community-wide effort, and we're incredibly grateful for the mentors in our program, the coaches, the instructors, the professors who have spent countless hours in helping prepare our teams. We're incredibly indebted as well to our Entrepreneur in Residence program, specifically Mary Ullman Jaffet, who served as Entrepreneur in Residence last year, Matt Glazer, who's our current Entrepreneur in Residence, and all of the other EIRs who have spent their time in helping prepare these teams for tonight's final round. Now, the university honors the legacy of Louis H. Stumberg through the Stumberg Prize. Mr. Stumberg was a food industry pioneer who, in his early 20s, started Patio Foods, the company that brought frozen Tex-Mex and Mexican food nationwide. In not only sort of was an experience as a successful entrepreneur, something that we sort of mark and celebrate, but it really is, in addition to his philanthropy, his community leadership that he had here in San Antonio. Mr. Stumberg also served as a president and member of Trinity University's Board of Trustees and was actively engaged in San Antonio. As a member of the Greater Chamber of Commerce as their president, he served in the Downtown Rotary. He served as the president of the Alamo Council of the Boy Scouts of America, and he was actively and deeply involved in this sort of critical business leadership of this community. But what's important about Mr. Stumberg as well is that his legacy is also marked by the countless of individuals who we've encountered here in San Antonio, who remarked that Mr. Stumberg was their business mentor, the person who offered advice, the individual who reached out and served as their first customer, or perhaps had the opportunity to connect them with the right person. And it's that sort of legacy of Mr. Stumberg in helping him shape the business community here in San Antonio that we're grateful for the Stumberg family to sort of honor his legacy through the establishment of this prize. Thank you very much. So what you'll be witnessing today is going to be sort of the evaluation of our team's Shark Tank style in a pitch and Q&A part. Now, it's important to understand that our judges are not only evaluating what the companies are in their pitches and in their Q&A, but they'll also be evaluating and have evaluated their early materials that they've submitted, the financial projection, their business plan, their marketing plan, and all of these go together to select our ultimate Stumberg Prize finalists, the winner of the big check, $25,000 that we'll be granting to one team today. We are grateful for our judges, Kim Azar from San Antonio, and our alumni who've come back to judge, Lakeisha Brooks, Keith Shesher, and a former Trinity University Stumberg Prize finalist from 2016, Ingrid Harb, who will be evaluating today's teams. Let's get started.
Hello, my name is Sebastián Trujillo, and today I will be telling you about Empower Ecommerce and how we help small business sell online now. Across Texas, small and medium-sized retailers are facing a problem. They're facing decreasing revenues and a decrease in customer traffic. The pandemic and changing consumer preferences has led to a growth of big e-commerce. Small and medium-sized retailers lack the ability and expertise to grow e-commerce platforms, and that's why they need a low-cost service provider that can help them get there. Our customers are located in the major metropolitan cities of Texas, and they've been in business for a while. Moreover than that, they know their customers really well, and they know how to turn over inventory. However, let me tell you what they're thinking about. They're thinking about the growth of big e-commerce, and they're afraid that they're losing their customer base. They're also afraid of the learning curve associated with getting online. That's why they're likely to work with a startup like us, because we know exactly what they need, and we're going to make sure that we grow their revenue streams. We do search engine optimization. That means we do everything from web analytics to keywords research to doing resonance and conversion analytics so that we can help our customers sell more online. But let me tell you what we do differently than most other providers out there. We actually build e-commerce platforms and test them often. We ensure that we understand who our customer's user is on their site because we want to know what questions they're asking online and optimize for the answer. We also understand that our customers are retail brands and that the loyalty and trust that they emulate in person, they have to do online. That's why until we build them digital galleries that do that, we continue to work. Moreover than that, we show them the math. We tell them what their projected return on investment is going to look like and how we plan on reducing their total ad spend. E-commerce is big business. This year, 2020, it'll hit $710 billion, and it's going to continue to grow. Let me tell you what's going on here in our backyard. In San Antonio, there are 20 providers who could reach the level of service our customers expect from us. In Texas, there are over 2,500 providers that range from freelancers to AAA agencies. And the sleuth of options, contracts, and prices, they're a headache. Most small and medium-sized retailers just want to sell online now. Let me tell you why they choose us. They choose us for our breadth of service, our focus on data transparency, our belief in customer partnership, and our turnaround time. We move fast and we're reiterative, and they love that. Let me tell you what we did this summer. We went out and we talked to 200 small and medium-sized retailers, and 25 really liked the language and questions that we were using. One of them said, "Come work for us." They're ready to run. They're a specialty running store in Austin, Texas. They do gait analysis, and they can tell you exactly what shoe you have to use for what type of running. However, they weren't so great at getting online. It took them a while, and they tried in-house development, outsourced development, and they couldn't even sell online. This is the site we build them. These optics, that's Austin optimizing for keywords and helping them with their email marketing. We could do the same for hundreds of other small and medium-sized retailers across Texas. Let me tell you what it costs us. The first month is always the heaviest. That costs us around $1,440 in salaries and other expenses. However, every month thereafter, it only costs us $720. And our cost of customer acquisition, we do all the heavy lifting for free. The first month is on us. And that's why we project our customer lifetime value at $36,000, because those who choose us are likely to stay with us for 3 years. With your help, we will grow our customer base to ensure that we become sustainable by growing our employee base and onboarding. Moreover than that, we will build a great sales force that will go out there and target and sell these customers exactly what they need. We're going to invest in a great customer portal and IT security because we want to make our customers' media management and ticketing requests seamless, and we want to make sure their information is safe and secure. Moreover than that, we're going to invest in administrative and legal because we want to make sure that our customers are protected, their users on their site understand the privacy that is being asked of them, and that we ourselves protect our own business interests. Moreover than that, we want to look good when we do business. And that's why we're going to invest in marketing and graphic design, because we want to be a brand that our customers are proud of doing business with. Right now, our operating capacity is capped at 4 subscriptions per month. However, if you help us by the end of next year, we could be at 12 yearly subscribers. That's an increase in revenue from $25,000 to $215,000. The team is led by myself, Sebastián Trujillo, as the CEO and CFO, and my co-founder, Austin Sanders, as our COO and CMO. We are led by a team of great mentors, Stephen Patty, who advises us on our sales strategy, and legendary founder Lionel Sosa, who advises us on marketing and our customer success. We have a vision to empower small and medium-sized retailers and grow online business diversity. We are Empower E-commerce, and we hope that you believe in our vision for online business diversity. My name is Sebastián Trujillo. It's been a pleasure talking to you today.
Gentlemen, thanks for that presentation. If there was a significant reason for me to invest, it would be the enthusiasm that you demonstrated in your presentation. I guess one of the things that I was a little concerned about as I listened to you, and as I read your executive summary, you talk about how much you're going to be paying people for this and what your margins are going to be. And I guess not really familiar with it, but it seems like you're not really thinking about what I would think these resources would really cost. And I'm worried that your margins are awful thin. Can you teach me a little bit about how you've researched that?
Hey, that's a great point to begin with. And yes, our current contribution margin is at 20%, but that's because we're working under the assumption that right now we're really a team of 2 people who work as programmers to optimize our customer sites. What the projections that you're looking on that executive summary, the projections that we show, can you go to the slide? It's the 4th to last slide. When we show our margin after investment, what we're showing is our contribution margin after we've developed our platform that serves really as a intermediary between our customer and the platforms that we use to optimize our customers' media online and help them sell more. So right now, our current cost structure is under the assumption that we do not have that intermediary piece and that we're doing a lot of it by hand, which means that we're tracking not only the sales receipts and invoices and all of that by hand, we're also tracking each time a customer wants to do a ticket request to their website. That's rather expensive when you're not doing it in an automated fashion and when you don't have a dedicated team.
How will that service be completely automatic, right? Because I don't think anyone has figured out a way to make SEO seamless, not human, right now, only you as a person have to go in and do it, right? Walk me through that theory of like your value proposition.
Web development is the most expensive part of SEO because the customer really doesn't know what their website wants to look like. And even though that there are services that help you build websites and the like, even with that, it's still rather expensive to get a great idea of what a customer wants. So what we really do differently is that we start our retailers kind of small. We start them with a few products. We start them really with a landing page, an index page, and typically 5 to 10 product images for the products that they want to sell. By doing it that way, what we really help our customers do is focus on the messaging that they're using online and seeing how that messaging is converting. Now, imagine that a customer says, here are my 5 images. Here are what my index site wants to look like. Here's my landing page. And you go and you build all that. That can cost you, say, $1,200 for a contract that you may be only invoicing $1,500. And then the customer comes back and says, hey, I really don't like how this looks. That's what happens to a large majority of marketing companies. And that's why we want to give our customers a preview of what their site's going to look like after optimizations and all that without any real code having gone into a site. So that's sort of on the beginning part of things. And I'm going to switch it over sort of to the technical side. Austin's going to actually get into the nitty-gritty of what does a customer understand when they come to us and what are their real expectations. So you can give the example of Ready to Run if that's better.
Yeah, so with Ready to Run, they had spent like a large margin on like online sales, trying to get their website going.
18,000 is the total figure.
And the traction that they gained on their online site, it was not near where the money that went into it needed to go. So what we're trying to do is have everything in the portal, and they'll put all of it there. So that way, whenever they do have the changes that they don't like us one thing on the website and one thing, then it won't be just an email to us. It'll be right on the portal where we can immediately see it and turn around and try to do it as good as we can for the customer.
And what Austin is getting to is that this portal isn't just a platform as a service. Really, what it really is a decision support service.
All right. Thank you so much, Empower Media.
Hi, my name is Neha Kapoor, and I am the founder and CEO of Cairo Pac. My journey began when I was 16 and I injured my arm and my back. I was sent in for x-rays, several MRIs, and ultimately everything was inconclusive. My doctor sent me to a physical therapist, but because my body became so weak, I was no longer able to carry my beloved backpack. My physical therapist said, ditch the backpack, get a rolling bag, and I said, no thanks, I'll pass. Ultimately, this is an everyday pain, not just for me, but for so many working professionals and students across the country. The Mayo Clinic reports that back pain affects up to 80% of adults in the US. However, we realize that the problem materializes at a younger age. In a study, nearly 75% of children that use backpacks ages 12 to 18 reported back pain. And a lot of that is attributed to the fact that children carry heavy backpacks that weigh over 30% of their body weight, while doctors only recommend that it should be about 10%, which is why we created the Cairo Pac. The Cairo Pac is an everyday backpack designed for students and working professionals with back, shoulder, and neck pain. Essentially, we've created our bag so that it feels like we're lightening your load using our unique weight distribution technology. We take the opportunity to learn more about our users using the Cairo Pac Best Fit experience. We learn more about their backpack usage, we learn more about their pain points, and lastly, we take a measurement of their shoulder width and their torso length. All of that information is compiled and then sent through an algorithm that outputs their best fit backpack size and finally appropriate accessories. So our goal at Cairo Pac is to really make sure that your bag fits as best as possible to your body. And so because of that, we've created an interior structure that allows the weight of all the items in your bag to be distributed equally so that there's no part of your body that experiences an additional portion of pressure. And so you can see here that I've pointed out some unique features we have. And so the reason we're not going to get too much into the nitty-gritty details is because we believe we have a patentable product and our goal is to protect ourselves. So we'll keep it at that for now. But ultimately, our goal is to tell you to drop your flimsy loaded backpacks and switch over to something that has more structure and provides more comfort. So we have two key sections to our target market, the first being students. Students in the K-12 system have their bags stuffed to the brim. In fact, several school districts have even taken away lockers, which requires these students to carry their load to and from every single class. On the other hand, working professionals are stuck behind their tables for hours at a time without proper lumbar support, which makes them even more susceptible to developing that back, shoulder, and neck pain. And we've seen an upward trend of working professionals using backpacks for convenience. However, carrying that extra load can be a burden sometimes. So we believe we're providing this unique opportunity to penetrate a niche market, and we believe that Cairo Pac has the ability to help over 39 million potential users in its lifetime. We understand the backpack market is a very crowded market. There are so many products that range in price point and in quality, but at Cairo Pac we want to make sure that we're providing that extra value. Thus, we are going to be advertising to a niche market of people who are looking for back shoulder pain relief. And so because of that added value, we are planning to set our price point slightly higher than some of our mid-range competitors at $199 for our base model. This puts us at about a 50% profit margin, which we hope to increase as we reduce our costs to produce. You might be wondering, well, Neha, what has Cairo Pac accomplished since the seed round? So since you last saw us in April, we've conducted over 45 customer discovery interviews that helped validate our product, interviewed medical professionals that, again, validated the design of our product. We've developed 3D renderings, as you saw earlier, identified manufacturing leads, and so much more. Our next steps really include to file for that intellectual property and protect ourselves, and begin our sample manufacturing. So that would include testing that, making sure it's viable, and then we'll be developing our algorithm to make sure that we've created an effective kind of algorithm to make sure we're producing that good size for every single user. And then once our design is perfect, to begin that stock production. And lastly, we plan to launch June of 2021, which will be right in time for back to school shopping season. We have determined and assessed that our team will need about $100,000 to get us from this point all the way to our launch in June of 2021. And a lot of that funding is going to be funneled into manufacturing. So essentially that includes developing those samples, making changes to them, developing molds, and then finally producing some stock. Lastly, we determined that we were going to begin our Kickstarter as well. That would help us reach our funding goal as well as collect some pre-orders and validate consumer demand as well. Ultimately, my doctors were never really able to figure out what was wrong with my back and how to address that pain. But I know if I had a Cairo Pac back when I was 16, I might have been able to address some of those pains. Cairo Pac has the power to help students and working professionals with the exact same pain I have, and I know this funding will go a long way to help create that change. Lastly, none of this would have been possible without my amazing team, Sasha and Stanley, without whom we would have never taken Cairo Pac from concept all the way to design. And so big shout out to them. And then lastly, we want to thank all of our mentors who helped us get here today. Thank you.
You did a great job in your presentation. Thank you so much. We have a couple of questions about fit, and you call it a best fit experience. And we'd like to know how that works. Is it done online? Is it an app? How many measurements are there? It sounds like it's very customizable. So can you give us a little bit more detail about that?
Absolutely. So kind of what our best fit experience is a user will visit our website and essentially they'll be prompted to take a quiz. And that quiz kind of understands their pain points, how they like their bags to fit on their body. And then we finally take a measurement using an AI technology we're developing that takes measurements of their shoulder width and torso width. And then all of that information is kind of compiled, sent through that algorithm, and that produces like their best fit backpack size. So that could be, for example, when you pick out clothing, you look at small, medium, large, extra large, that kind of sizing. So it won't be a perfect fit, but it'll be as close as we can get it to be to your body.
So I guess the question I had was around your prototyping. Saw that you had done some neat CAD design and but have you actually been able to hang anything on someone's back yet and get a response on, what they like versus don't like, and how much better it distributes the weight?
So we haven't really had an opportunity to put a backpack on anyone's back just because of COVID. However, we have taken into account what kind of testing we can do. Like once we have a backpack on someone's back, we're looking to get some prototypes first, but for that we need to go through the whole manufacturing process. But once we have a prototype in our hands, like we will try it on, we'll let other people try it on, see how it fits.
You mentioned wanting to eventually produce your prototype, and we've talked about the algorithm and the customized fit. Do you imagine everyone will have an individualized backpack, or maybe you'll have, say, 5 backpacks to choose from that are customizable, and that people, depend upon where their measurements end up, their recommendation will be for this specific model. So how customized are you anticipating the backpacks to be?
Definitely. So just because of, creating a very personalized product can be difficult in that, we have to produce stock before we can send it out to someone that purchases the bag. So for that sake, we'll probably have between 5 to 7 different sizes that will be calculated for a user when they take that quiz. And then based on the results of that quiz, it'll tell them which size bag to fit for themselves.
Thank you, Cairo Pac.
Hello, we are thoughtful, self-care in a snack. One of the greatest threats to your well-being is stress. Stress caused by days that look like these. Sleepless nights, looming deadlines, and overbooked days are the norm for college students and young professionals. This busy lifestyle leads to high levels of stress eating, and burnout. And this stress is only heightened by the uncertainty that comes along with the global pandemic. On stressful and overbooked days, diet and health are sacrificed for convenience and comfort. Many people turn to convenient, unhealthy comfort snacks to help them de-stress during their breaks and temporarily refuel. But these snacks only worsen inflammation in the body and brain, leading to poor physical and mental health outcomes. This is not sustainable. With all of the stress on our bodies and minds, it's essential that we have a way to address this through our snacks. So, we made thoughtful. Self-care in a snack. Self-care is about taking care of your body and mind. Most healthy snacks only care about physical health, but our healthy snacks contain scientifically researched active ingredients for your mind to support a healthy stress response, such as L-theanine, the active ingredient found in green tea. After several farmers markets and tabling events, we landed on our first tasty flavor, peanut butter and cocoa.
We're not just pitching a concept. We're pitching a rapidly growing new business. Here's just some of the great feedback we've gotten on our products. We've sold out at the Alamo Heights Farmers Market twice. We're entering a second market this weekend. We've accumulated over $1,000 in pre-orders through our website. We have interest from 2 multi-location retailers. We're currently in the final stages of reaching a deal with natural grocers to launch our products into their San Antonio stores. And we did all of this in just over a week since we launched on August 30th. All told, it currently costs us $123 to make each package. We sell direct to consumer through farmers markets and our website, as well as through retail and grocery. Each package sells for $4.99, and you can see the breakdown of our margins at each channel here. Our target market is 70 million individuals aged 18 to 40 who say that managing stress and mental health is their primary health and wellness concern. According to a report by Statista, per person spending on snacks in America in 2020 will be $305. Combined, this gives us a total market size of $21 billion. Right now, however, we're focused on the $475,000 market our company has here in San Antonio this year through these channels. Thoughtful makes self-care snacks for mental health, our own new category that we can dominate. We're just as convenient as unhealthy packaged snacks with our resealable pouches. And our all-natural, high-fiber, high-protein ingredients are just so much better for you. What makes us different from other healthy snacks is the functional benefits of our products. There are currently no other brands making a filling snack that focuses on mental health and supports a healthy stress response. If you're looking for functional benefits through your food, your current options are CBD gummies and chocolate supplements, both of which are unhealthy, filled with sugar, and just not designed to be snacks. Finally, there are stress support drinks. These taste like chlorine, and the ones that do taste good pack in the sugar and have synthetic caffeine. Over the summer, we worked to refine our business model, improve our product, and simplify our production process. Then, we partnered with an amazing design firm called Heavy Heavy to create an awesome brand that inspires others to take better care of themselves. If we win the $25,000, we will finalize our packaging. We will complete shelf life testing so we can get into natural grocers and fulfill our pre-orders that are from around the nation. We will finish the development of our next 2 flavors, lemon lavender and chai spice. And finally, the production budget you see here will allow us to produce at least 6,000 packages. Selling those will generate significant cash flow, all of which we will put back into the business to fund future production.
My name is Amy Platter. I'm a junior neuroscience and economics double major. I have experience in research and business strategy.
And my name's Cannon Wilson. I'm a junior math finance, and econ major. I have experience in design and sales strategy.
Cannon is passionate about food, so we originally started out as a snack business, trying to solve the gap in healthy, convenient snacks for college students. But then I lost a family member to mental health, and my whole world changed. I realized the importance of mental health, and I also saw how it's underserved in our society. After learning about the critical link between diet and mental health, that what you eat determines how you feel, we knew exactly what we needed to do. This not only clarified how we can help people, but it just fit together so well. Self-care and snacks really do go hand in hand. We are on a mission to change the American snack culture to promote mental health. We hope you can join us on this journey. Thank you.
Hi, guys. You guys did a great job on your presentation. Thank you so much. We have some questions for you guys. What about the shelf life? That's what I'm concerned about. Your product looks amazing. Your photograph looked delicious. The ingredients sound great. I can't wait to try it. I'll definitely be a consumer, but I am concerned about shelf life and how you see that working. I have a lot of questions, but I'll start with that one. So we'll let you start there.
Okay. Yeah, great. So our shelf life, we've actually done testing on our part. It's lasted up to a month. So we're looking to, in the next stages, that's one of our next steps, is to complete in-depth shelf life testing so that we can give that to our, the grocers, the retailers we're getting into. But we've done our own testing, and it is shelf stable for a significant amount of time.
And also the ingredients in our product on their own are shelf stable.
Okay, does it have preservatives in it?
No, it does not. The great thing about the ingredients, though, is like Amy was just saying, they are all shelf stable independently, and they are, high fiber, stable fats, so they're not breaking down quickly.
Any thought or concern in terms of potential competitors? I see your point of differentiation in that, this product is specifically geared towards mental health. This is a space I'm not as familiar with. Is there any thought in terms of how you continue to make sure you stay ahead of any potential competitors, and how you make sure that thoughtful when folks are looking for snacks that make them feel better mentally, emotionally, stays top of mind with folks?
Yes, so we're aware that snacks are a competitive industry, but we've spent a lot of time developing our brand and intentionally building our brand in a way that it will continue to be strong as competitors enter the space.
And I think we have a very understandable differentiation. So we've talked to quite a few retailers, and our opening line is, you have a lot of healthy snacks for physical health. What about mental health? That instantly gets them nodding. That instantly gets them understanding our product and on our side. So that's already worked with, one retailer. Like, we have Black Swan Yoga here, who has signed an order here, which is very exciting. And we have some initial evidence that that's really working.
Thank you so much, Thoughtful.
Hello everyone, my name is Tiffany Perez and I want to tell you about Compass Vet. So this day and age, many pet owners consider their pet as a member of their family. Let me introduce you to my family. Meet Roscoe. This cat, he gave me a lot of funny moments, amazing memories, and he was even the cat that dog people loved. My wife and Roscoe were the true testament of the human-animal bond. In this picture here, my wife actually flew back just to be with Roscoe because we were unsure if he was going to make it. Roscoe, for the most part, was ill most of his life, and though we were able to manage his care, he was still in and out of the hospital. And so here, in this picture that you're seeing, this is his 13th birthday, and he's clearly not thrilled to be here. Note that the photo is dated August 2015. And the true testament to the human-animal bond, for those people that are, able to experience, it's a blessing and a curse, simply because these beautiful creatures just don't live as long as we do. And for them, they find themselves one day inevitably experiencing the grief of the loss of that bond. And so when it came time for Roscoe, when we knew that he wasn't getting better, he didn't bounce back from August 2015, my wife and I had to consider when it was time to put him down, and that is very difficult. And how do we know when it's time? That is the question that many pet owners themselves face. So with traditional clinics, they're more focused on keeping the pet better and and making them better and keeping them healthy. And even though, like with the guidance of the vet team, yes, we could have made different decisions for Roscoe's end-of-life care, but when Roscoe became chronically ill and also a senior age, his needs changed, and also just senior and chronically ill pets, their needs change, and then the family members' needs change as well. And so caring for these senior pets and ill pets, chronically ill pets, is a very difficult process and frustrating and heartbreaking, not just for the pet owners, but also for the vet team as well. And so we have found that some pets are just not getting the care that they need in their final moments, whether it be days, months, or years. And so when it came time to euthanize Roscoe, we were like most families at a traditional clinic, and it was very, even though we knew the vet team, it was very impersonal, and we just couldn't process our emotions and express them how we needed to. We had people all around us, and it was just very hard, and all I could think about was being at home with Roscoe and my family there in his final moments. And so reflecting on this, we knew that we can make this process better for pet owners and provide a higher standard of care and a better overall experience. Thus, we created Compass Vet, specializing in high-quality, compassionate palliative and end-of-life care for pets in the comfort of their own home. Compass Vet is dedicated to guiding pet owners through all aspects of their pet's end of life, whether it be the palliative care pet that has 2 years to live, or the pet that has been given 2 weeks to live, to the pet that needs euthanasia, or the pet owners that need the emotional guidance to get through that process, through the whole journey. So we recently did a limited pilot program launch here where my wife just did word of mouth with her ER associates at the hospital. And we did obtain 7 clients we have recently obtained 7 clients with a client conversion rate of 60% and gross earnings of $3,600. And also on a side note, right now we offer an alternative to those families because with COVID present, some pet owners are having to say goodbye at the clinic's door because those clients are not allowed to go in. And so the market, the U.S. spending and sales just on pet care and services is expected to rise at 28% by the year 2023. And so our marketing campaign is set to launch this year with our focus on primary and specialty veterinarians as our main source of client acquisition, along with networking with the pet associated businesses like the kennels and groomers and pet events, also social media and SEO for optimizing our potential website. So what makes us different from our competitors is that we offer late night availability along with a live grief session from a certified grief recovery specialist, and we're soon to add acupuncture to our services. So our plan is to have Compass Vet with 3 doctors in 2 markets with a net income of $600,000 and also moving towards our first franchise by 2023. I'm Tiffany Perez. I'm a student here at Trinity. I'm also a U.S. Coast Guard veteran. I'm using my GI benefits here. My major is communication with my minor in entrepreneurship, and this is my wife, Dr. Tara Bettis. She graduated from Ross University School of Veterinary Medicine in 2015. And just to tell you, winning the Stumberg funds here will help us move our marketing and also move us in the direction to obtain the necessary certifications and licensing to help really scale the business, grow and develop our team, and move us in the direction that we want to be. So judges, I really want to thank you for listening to our presentation, and I hope that you'll consider to help Compass Vet, and share Compass Vet with the families who may need us, and I hope that you'll consider us the Stumberg 2020 Final Prize Award winners. Thank you very much.
Hi there. Well, I had a question. It's a great model, and definitely people here, we care a lot about our pets, and it has to, my question is regarding potential partners and competitors. And in terms of funeral homes, because I think about others who may be in this space, in the San Antonio market, do you see funeral homes as potential competitors or someone that you may be able to partner with? Because I've seen that, I know locally here in deep South Texas, with funeral homes offering more pet death care services.
Absolutely. I think that could be something that could be a potential partnership if presented appropriately to where it benefits for both, but because they do have facilities very similar to pet crematoriums, so yes. That could be something to potentially scale in that direction as well.
I'll add to that currently none of them are competitors because we don't do the actual cremation service. We work with a crematorium and they need a licensed veterinarian to do the euthanasias.
Hello, my name is Francisco Macias, and I'd like to talk to you about Monarch Migration. Monarch Migration is unique as it is only a month old. After COVID hit and my business partner decided to drop Stumberg, I wanted to continue the competition, and I created Monarch Migration officially on August 28th. Today I'm going to tell you how Monarch Migration is going to be the most globally impactful company that has ever come out of this competition. Monarch Migration plans to do this by using education and employment to support legal immigration and to help others achieve the American dream. The problem that Monarch Migration is trying to solve is the integration gap. The integration gap is the fact that immigrants in the sport just don't have the basic skills or knowledge to navigate America's complex society. Imagine you are an immigrant mother that just came into the United States. Now you have to learn a new language, a new currency, where to put your children in school, a new housing, health, and more importantly, how to pay for all this and where to get employment. The reason why this problem occurs is because our competition is mostly focusing on the journey and not the life afterwards. Our main competition is going to be well-funded nonprofits who focus on primary and legal needs. We also have bilingual entities such as Saberes Poder, but they're only focusing on Spanish-speaking immigrants. We also have expensive firms and clinics. And of course, we have the government, but we currently know how they're handling immigration. Monarch Migration plans to separate itself from the competition by focusing on the American life, the integration. Monarch Migration also plans to create a network between our services so we completely eliminate competition. And I'll talk about that more in our marketing strategies. Monarch Migration plans to solve this integration gap in 4 different phases. I'll mostly talk about phase 1 and phase 2, and we'll hint at phase 3 and phase 4, but we'll love to talk more about that in the question round. Phase 1 and phase 2. Phase 1 is the launching of an online pilot study as we become the map of American society by connecting immigrants with our partners. We also provide our services in various languages, and more importantly, focusing on helping immigrants with employment preparation. Surveys would be administered so clients could provide essential feedback. Using that essential feedback, we're able to mold phase 2. Phase 2 will be launching as a revised and more extensive phase 1. Phase 3 is where we start generating revenue as we come to companies with a pool of legally authorized and professional employees. We help with the application, interview, and hiring services through our multilingual tools, and we help companies build multilingual sectors so they can expand their services globally. ASSA is supposed to be thought of as the Khan Academy for American skills. Immigrants are able to learn about education, employment, housing, and more. Our marketing research shows that there's a really large pool of immigrants within the United States, and it's continues to grow exponentially. Our research also showed that recently arrived immigrants are more academic accredited than the US-born counterparts. Our research also shows that employers having a hard time filling jobs, and they heavily rely on immigrant visas. Big companies are pushing towards globalization as they're always seeking to increase their value by adding multilingual employees to their team. The way Monarch Migration plans to attract our customers is through our partnership network partners. Through our partnerships, we're able to bounce a client from organization to organization with zero to little cost. We'll also be providing our partners the opportunity to create social wellness advertisements. A majority of our advertisements will be regulated to teaching a new skill or accessing a new service, and then our partners will be able to provide their contact information at the end. The reason why I believe Monarch Migration is going to be successful in San Antonio is because, well, we have a really large immigration population, and more importantly, they generate a lot of money. Also, 30% of San Antonio's business owners are immigrants, and they're likely to hire immigrants. Monarch Migration is currently operating as a sole proprietorship, but hoping to expand into a beneficiary corporation. My personal experiences in immigration are usually in legal and education fields. I'm also the supervising legal assistant for the Consulate of Belgium and Nambia. I will be pursuing a JD and a PhD in psychology next year. Monarch Migration has recently named Dr. Katsuo Nishikawa as our director of research, as he will be leading our research team in Mexico next spring. Dr. Nishikawa was brought onto the team due to his expertise in immigration and international affairs. Most of the startup money that we'll be receiving from Stumberg will be used to create an awesome website and to funnel research. Once phase 2 is ready to launch, we'll be able to great anticipation by a marketing campaign. Monarch Migration is not asking the judges to invest in a product or necessarily even a service. Monarch Migration is asking the judges to invest in people. Invest in the next generation American to make a better American tomorrow. Help Monarch Migration become the online Statue of Liberty. Thank you.
I'm just curious. So this sounds awesome, right? Like big picture, like having an academy, placing legal immigrants into jobs and all that stuff. But what is like your first step? Like what is the first 5 goals that you're going to do as you launch? Because becoming global is not overnight at all. And
not
so, and these are also topics that, you need kind of experts on to understand the legal procedures, all of that. So just walk me through.
Yes. First step is we're creating phase 1, which is a research-based. myself, and as you saw, my business partner, Dr. Nishikawa, who's the Director of Immigration and International Affairs within Trinity. We are going to Mexico and we're gathering research. We're getting this research on the ground. With this research, we become a map of American society. So our first goal, connect with partners in San Antonio that serve immigrants, create a web. We also create a multilingual website. Second, we help these individuals through employment preparation. So these are the steps that we're going to be taking after we go to Mexico and gather these research and talk with immigrants. What do you really need from us? We'll go into Mexico and take that time.
And what is the revenue making of this first phase? Like, are you initially just focusing on research and making some sort of profit, somehow, or getting from the government?
Yeah, so we're looking at building with partnerships with different companies. We've seen with Catholic Charities and also Raices. And our research is going to be funded by primarily these competitions and such. And we also have private grants that we're applying for. But it's our first basis is to collect. We want to be free, so we advertise to our immigrants. So we create this big pool. Immigrants are already paying $50,000 just to get to the United States. And we're going to reduce that cost by about 80% and make it safer.
You mentioned grants. Then if you're taking any kind of grants, then will that force you into a not-for-profit status, or can you accept, depending upon the types of grants you're applying for and may eventually receive, you can still be a for-profit venture?
Yeah, so we're going to go for a beneficiary corporation. We're shooting towards that trajectory. So with the beneficiary corporation, we are still able to receive grants due to the application process allowing us to. Since we're doing a beneficiary also along with our profits.
Okay, Monarch, thank you very much.
I'm going to start off today with an important question. How much water have you had today? Most people can't answer this with confidence, myself included, and here's why. So you're a human, and humans need to drink water, but humans are pretty bad at drinking enough water. So everybody has their own water bottle, and all it does is carry around water. It doesn't help you stay engaged with your health and wellness. Your phone tells you your steps, your heart rate, and hours slept at night, but how much water you drink, they still can't do that. We are here to help you reliably measure your hydration levels with the Sapphire lid. The Sapphire lid tracks the amount of water you consume in a day and conveniently displays it for you on top of the lid. And so we have designed and engineered the lid to include water sensing technologies to collect data from you drinking water all day long. And as you can see, it has a screen that will display your water intake. It has control buttons and a charging port. And right now, we have a provisional patent on the core technology inside the lid. And so the lid, it tracks your water consumption automatically, so you can keep up with hydration without even thinking about it. And it connects wirelessly to your devices through Bluetooth. So let me show you how this works. Take 3 trendy stainless steel water bottles, remove the only sacrificial part of the bottle, and upgrade your water bottle into a smart bottle by only replacing the lid. And so now you may be thinking, other people do this, right, with smart bottles? A smart bottle is a bottle with any combination of technology, including Internet of Things, artificial intelligence, hardware, and software, that provides information to users regarding their hydration levels. And so here are 3 niche smart bottle companies, and they are growing in demand. So you have Life Fuels, and they have nutritional infusions that go into the water. And then you have Hydrate Spark. The bottom of the bottle glows as a reminder to drink more water. And then you have Thermos. They just track your hydration levels, and then they send that data to an app. In fact, all 3 of these companies have their own app. It takes building a smart bottle and an app to one-up regular stainless steel water bottles that are so popular. And so how do we compete with these companies? We don't. We are just a lid. In fact, we are the first to market retrofit solution, and we are competing as an innovator. And so we are going to license our product to a company in the reusable water bottle market. which is valued at $8.1 billion. We feel that to get our product in the hands of as many people as possible, we should license to a company with a solid and loyal customer base. And these companies, they're good at putting water bottles in the hands of customers, but they don't have the in-house resources to develop a smart product. And so licensing from us solves that problem for them. And so here's a detailed breakdown of our use of funds. And these are thoughtful estimates from our own research and from our attorneys. And we are ready to scale. We have positioned ourselves to turn the $25,000 Stumberg Prize into a completed and tested prototype, a secured, non-provisional patent, and the beginnings of a closed licensing agreement with a strategic partner. And so if we were to win, we would immediately devote $10,000 to scaling prototype efforts. This includes hiring extra help with software development and manufacturing. And then we will begin beta testing our product to prove market viability. And this will cost around $1,000. And then we have an April 2021 deadline to file for our non-provisional patent. And this will cost between $8,000 to $13,000. After we have secured our patent, we will begin to reach out to potential customers. And a licensing agreement will cost $2,000. So my name is Tara Lujan. I handle the business and marketing side, and I am currently studying business administration at Trinity. Zachary Taylor, he handles the innovation in tech, and he recently graduated from Trinity last spring with a degree in computer science. And together, we have the skills and drive to grow Sapphire. So here's our key advisor, David Rosenbaum. He is our IP attorney, and he is an expert in the technology IP world. His filings range from the cardiac stent to nanolithography. His expertise is a powerful asset to us at Sapphire as we navigate the difficult intellectual property landscape. And not only can he help us out with patent filings, he can help us draft and negotiate eventual licensing agreements. Hydration tracking for the individual consumer is an emerging market that is ripe for innovation. We at Sapphire are ready to take the Stumberg Prize and disrupt the competition with our first-to-market solution. Thank you.
First, I want to say you guys did a stellar job on your presentation. Your research, everything was thorough and really easy to follow. I do want to know, though, why you decided to go with a licensing agreement.
Yes, so for the licensing agreement, we want our product out there. We want to see it come to life, and through licensing, that can be done a lot faster and smoother, in our opinion, through our research, than if we were to manufacture it completely by ourselves.
And just back onto that, we're not necessarily in the model of going for infinite money. We really just want to see this through. It's something we're passionate about. We want to get it done, and we recognize that working with strategic partners is going to help us do that a lot better.
So will your attorney be doing all of that research himself and going out and kind of diving in and figuring out who to talk to on the licensing end, or will you guys be a part of that at all?
Oh, we expect to do a lot of research with finding out who we want to license to and narrowing it down to a few people, and then reaching out, and then, working with our attorney as well. But we want to do the bulk of the research.
There's definitely also plans to leverage personal connections and things like that, and also professional networks to find other people to talk to. But we'll definitely be doing a lot of the research, as Tara said.
So I'm curious, when you think about the product that I am going to license. Let's say I'm, Yeti, right? And you're trying to get this into my lid. Are you envisioning that you're going to manufacture the lid? Are you going to just basically give me a license that lets me do it? Are you going to have proprietary components that I have to buy from you? How are you thinking about that?
So currently what we're hoping to be able to accomplish is not having to actually do any of the manufacturing, but all of the designs and the IP, secured around the designs and the system that we've created, and we can just sell that and allow, them to use their strategic partners where they've gotten their costs down to something that's reasonable and works at scale. So for example, with using Yeti as an example, we're working to get the printed circuit boards into a puck that's all, encompassed into something that could just be dropped into, an injection molded process. And it's just dropped in. You have some fasteners to keep, two pieces together. You put your gasket in and, allow a space for a screen, and there you go. You've got the Sapphire lid already done. The core technology is all designed and implemented for them. All they need to do is implement the manufacturing processes, which is what we are not claiming to have the expertise to do.
Great job, Sapphire.
Really nice job, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
You did great work. So to everyone who participated in the conference and in the competition, great work. It was clear that you all had put a lot of work and a lot of effort into your presentations, into your executive summaries, and into your businesses. I think as we talked about it as judges, there's kind of three main things we'd like to encourage you after having had the opportunity and the privilege of looking at your work. The first is that we would encourage you to keep a really open mind about learning of more and more from your products and how your clients and your customers interact with those. I think all of us can tell stories about times when we were absolutely certain that we knew the answer, and we discovered that we were absolutely wrong. And so as long as you can keep flexible in your thinking about your product and how it's going to go to market. Secondly, and related to that, you're going to get a lot of comments from us about your business. And frankly, you've thought about your business a lot more than we have. Now, there's a lot of people that have, great experience among this panel. You have someone with great experience in consumer packaged goods. You have someone with great experience doing your own startup right now. You have someone else who's done a lot of startups and a lot of marketing. So great experience, but take what we say with a grain of salt. Because I think we've all had people that have reacted to our business plans that a lot of times they were right, but sometimes they weren't. And so that's one of the great things and fun things is you're on a road of discovery, and there is no magic guide who's going to have all the right answers for you. And thirdly and finally, it was clear that you were passionate about what you were doing. And I think we all have had times when we're extremely passionate about the work we're doing. And the great thing about it is, in a lot of ways, it doesn't feel like work. That doesn't mean it's not hard. It doesn't mean you don't put a lot of hours into it. But the excitement of getting to build something can really make it so, as I like to say it, it's how I make sure I'm bouncing out of bed on Monday morning. So again, congratulations for a lot of great work. Hope your comments or the comments you get from us are helpful, and congratulations to the winner.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us for the 6th annual Louis H. Stumberg Venture Competition, especially to the Stumberg family, who make this competition possible. They themselves are a family of entrepreneurs, and it is with their generous support that Trinity can create more opportunities for students to explore entrepreneurship. Many thanks to the numerous individuals who assisted in preparing the teams on their entrepreneurial journey, the mentors in the Venture Mentoring Service for their months of guidance, Frost Bank for providing business accounts, the professionals and subject matter experts who took the time to help our students during the Summer Accelerator, including George Black, founder of Integro, Professor Steve Patty and Jake Gray, and TechBlock's Dax Moreno. We'd also like to thank Trinity's Entrepreneur in Residence, Matthew Glazer, as well as the past EIRs for helping prepare the teams. And of course, thank you to Dr. Luis Martinez, our director for the Center for Innovation and Entrepreneurship, and his team for all of the work they do. Thank you also to the judges for this year's competition. Lakeisha Brooks, Vice President of Operations at Wellfund, Heath Schesser, Partner at Pilot Wall Group, Ingrid Harb, Founder and CEO of the Aligned Creative Agency, and Kim Rees Assar, co-owner and founder of Assar Family Brands. And finally, thank you to the teams who have competed in this year's competition for all your hard work and dedication to turning your ideas into products you can take to market. Your passion and ingenuity truly represent the enduring excellence and perpetual discovery we strive for at Trinity. The judges had an extremely difficult decision to make this year. After deliberation, we are ready to announce the winners of this year's competition. Runner-up of the Stumberg Venture Competition and recipient of $5,000 is Thoughtful. The grand prize winner of the Stumberg Venture Competition, receiving a $25,000 grand prize, is Sapphire. Congratulations to both prize winners, and congratulations to all of the teams who competed and made it this far. We look forward to seeing all of your businesses continue to grow. Congratulations.